So I think to me, anytime I think about home, I always think of that cheesy phrase, home is where the heart is. And I definitely think that when we say home at the Hall, we mean that we want it to be more than just a place where you go to class. We want it to be more than just a stepping stone for you to find a job after college, which of course we want you to be employed after college. Who doesn't want that? But more so than that, college can be a really transformative experience if you allow it to be, and if you put yourself out there, and if you make these connections with people. And so to me, finding my home at the Hall really meant finding my family there and finding the people that I can call when things go wrong. Being an out-of-state student, I can't always, just see my friends or see my family from home at the drop of a hat.
So when I came to Seton Hall and I saw the campus is literally like everything is in one spot, I was instantly like, yes, this is it. And it sounds really corny, but like, when you have those moments where you're just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. That was like literally the moment that I had.
But not only theoretically, like on paper, it was an advantage to study at Seton Hall, but also the friends that I made and the experiences that I went through. To be honest, it was a very hard transition. I had lived in the same house for 16 years with the same people, my mom going to school in the same school for 16 years as well. So it was a big change, moving all the way across the continent, new people, new language, new culture. So it was a very hard transition. And to be honest, I did want to quit halfway through. But then it was people like Ella who helped me with my studying, and professors who were willing to help me get where I wanted to get, advisors, friends, most importantly, who just made me feel at home, even though I was away from home.
So I definitely agree. Like, even though I was close to home, just like Julia, my transition was really hard too. But I feel like for me, it was more so like I really not resistant to change, but really resistant to leaving people behind.
I really enjoyed being out on the green. There's a ton of sunshine in Colorado. There's like 300 days of sunshine where I live. And my family loves hiking and camping, and I live right next to the Rocky Mountains. And so that's a really big part of my life. And since I was dorming on campus, and of course none of my friends had cars that first year especially, it wasn't like we could just go anywhere. And so finding these little pieces of nature on campus was really important to me.
Something that I found out about myself is that I'm actually very extroverted, because I thought I was very shy and that I was bad at making new friends. But in reality, I just sat in Seton Hall and just started talking to people out of nowhere, like waiting in line for packages or in line to skip half, and joining organizations. I think SAB is the best example that I can give, because they're my family now, and also everyone that we've met at events for that SAB has hosted. So I really do think that orgs are a great way for you to make new friends and to get a little bit more out of your shell.
One of the things was that I'm not afraid to look stupid. So I feel like a lot of people, once they come into college, like, they don't realize like that it's a completely different ballgame. Like, at least me, like somebody who like never had experience with other family members in college, like, you don't realize like the workload or like how much free time you have and things like that. So you might get so used to like getting straight A's and just nailing everything in your life, because that was me. And then I came to school, like to college, and I got my first C on an exam, and like I thought my whole world like was over. Like, I called my mom and was crying for like an hour on the phone, he was like, okay, it's okay. And I was just like, no, I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. And like, after I had like that whole meltdown, like, I realized that the main reason why that happened was because I was afraid to ask questions because I was afraid of looking dumb. So then I just started realizing, like, after I had that moment, I was like, if you don't ask a stupid question, nobody else is going to ask it.
Just as much as we reach out in person, just as much as we have to break out of our shells in person, we also have to do that online. Obviously, it doesn't take as much physical energy to click on the join button on Teams to enter a webinar as it does to go to a club meeting. But it's really easy to forget about if you're sitting at home or you're sitting in your dorm or in your apartment or wherever you are. It's really easy to get distracted. It's easy to just watch 6 hours of Netflix or be on your phone. And so I think that my advice would just be start being conscious of it. Notice if you're feeling lonely. Notice if you're not feeling that connection with people. And when you're feeling it, like Vanessa and Julia mentioned about asking for help, you can always ask for help.
It was very hard to associate these feelings, everything is new, with I miss my home. But then I kind of learned how to make Seton Hall some kind of my home. Obviously, it doesn't compare to being home with my family and friends because they're so far away, right? So every single minute that I have with them is enough, When
I first came into college, I was very much of the mindset of, I'm paying a lot of money to be at school, so this is school. This is not playtime. I've seen all those movies with the red Solo cups. That is not going to be me. I'm going to get straight A's, blah, all this stuff. And I think it is really good advice that you don't have to totally change yourself to fit in. You don't have to go to parties if that's not your scene. It's not my scene. But on the other hand, be adventurous. College is a place where it's your opportunity to try things you haven't tried before. Maybe it's just an extra class in something that you haven't really had the opportunity to do before. Maybe it's a club that's on campus that you're kind of excited about, but you kind of think it's a little weird. At least for me, I didn't find that balance for a long time. I was really of the mindset of, well, I don't care what anybody thinks, and so I'm not going to change at all. And that really stunts your growth just as much as totally changing yourself for other people does.
When I just think back on like moving day, and I was just so dramatic. Like, so I just wish like somebody told me that like it's okay. Like, first of all, it's okay to cry. Like, because I thought I was like, I have to be like all tough, because I was like, my family only lives 18 miles away. Like, my roommate, she lives in Rhode Island. Like, I don't get the right to cry. Like, it's okay to be sad. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to make mistakes. Like, it's okay to look stupid. It's okay to ask for help. Like, I just feel like a lot of the times, like, you just get so, like, hung up on yourself. You're just like, oh my god, but my mom wouldn't like it if I did this. Or, like, my roommate probably is going to be upset with me if I do this. So, like, going back on, like, what Ella said, like, try hard. Like, not try hard, but, like, just one time, maybe like once a week or like once a month or once even in the semester, like just try to do something for yourself as opposed to like for somebody else. And like I said, like just like it's okay to make mistakes and just like it's okay to ask for help, like it's also okay to say no to your friends, and like it's also okay to like stay in and study or like stay in and take a nap. Like I feel like sometimes you get hung up on like, oh my god, I'm paying so much money and like I have to focus on school, but then you also get torn and you're like, oh my god, but like friends and social life. So I feel like just know that there's a balance like to everything. And,
I think that I would have told myself don't freak out, because in the beginning it was very hard. I already explained this, but culture is different. English is my second language. So I was freaking out in classes. I couldn't take notes as fast as other people could. I just had a lot of difficulty adapting, right? and I started freaking out periodically. Like every day, I would have a freak out moment scheduled in my agenda because everything was so it was all a struggle. But then I didn't need to freak out because in the end, I was very worried with classes, right? In the end, I got what, 2 A minuses and everything else were A's. So just relax. It's your freshman year. You know, it's your first semester. Don't freak out. You have a lot of time to fix your mistakes that you made throughout freshman year. So just don't freak out. Everything's going to be okay. Your family's there to support you, your friends, everyone. Everything's going to be okay.